Oh my God. WrestleMania 40 just happened. WrestleMania 40 just ended. I wanted to do my, I guess, natural reactions to the show. Oh my God. What a WrestleMania. I mean, I wanted Roman to win. I wanted Roman to retain so badly. But I'm happy that Cody finished the story. I think it was just fantastically done. But I really did want Roman to win. I think that WWE had the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and just have Roman win, keep him as the champion, hold it until WrestleMania 41. But I don't think if they're going to do Rock and Roman, I don't think Rock and Roman needs a belt. So anyways, let's kick it off with night one before we talk about anything else that happens. Let's kick it off with night one. So night one, the show kicks off with Triple H. He comes out. Triple H announces a new era of WWE. The show also starts with a brand new opening package, like the Then, Now, Forever. Looks like a freaking Marvel movie intro. And I know Triple H has said that he wants WWE to feel more like it's like the MCU almost, which, you know, they're doing a good job. They did Endgame tonight, which was fucking crazy. But by the way, if there's any young listeners out there, I would just like to point out that this podcast is explicit, so don't mind my language. But anyways, it was we'll get to that. But anyways, Triple H kicks off the show announcing a new era. The first match of the night is Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. Becky Lynch comes out. Her entire entrance, I just want to point out, was pretty much just an ad for her book. It looked like they just had her book graphic, and her ring gear, it looked like it had quotes from her book wrapped around her torso. So I mean, good for her. You know, get that bread, Becky. But Motionless in White, the singers for Rhea Ripley's theme song, actually performed her song. That was badass. That was cool as fuck. It looked like the singer from Motionless in White was the 2023 last year's version of Rhea Ripley. So it was kind of cool seeing Rhea Ripley now with like the longer hair, having the title for a while. She's more experienced, you know, facing off against like her younger looking self almost. The singer of Motionless in White, God, I don't really know the band. I don't know his name. Looked just like Rhea. It was so funny. Anyway, so they get to the ring. They do the challenger and champion intros, which I think are better now. I really like them a lot better with the, oh my God, what do you call them? The drone cam. Oh my God, I don't know why I forgot that word. The drone cam in front of them with the new graphics at the bottom. I think that's really cool. Anyways, this match was a good way to kick off WrestleMania. These two put on a good match. I knew they would. Becky's always been really, really good in the ring. And Rhea's just a monster. The big problem that I had with the Elimination Chamber match that Becky won to earn the championship match was that they were not selling enough. And now in this match, both women, you know, the whole show was a lot better in terms of selling, because that Elimination Chamber show was pretty brutal in terms of people not knowing when to act like they're hurt. For anyone who's not a wrestling fan, selling means you have to act like you're getting hurt. You know, it's a performance. It's entertainment. Anyways, Michael Cole points out the fact that it's 48 degrees and Becky's also been sick. She's had strep throat. First of all, wrestling outdoors in 48 degree weather, they better have some heaters or some shit around there to keep them warm, because that would be brutal. Imagine of course they wouldn't get cold if they're wrestling, but imagine getting stiff in that moment when you're in the ring and you're just, you get stuck, your muscles get frozen, you know, that would be the worst. And especially with Becky being sick. I like that they added that in as obviously now as we know she lost, as a part of the reason why she lost the match too, which is good because it helps, when Vince McMahon was in control, let's say the old era, the PG era, the reality era, we could say. When Vince was in control, when people would lose clean, it would feel like they're being buried. I wouldn't have necessarily said that, but a lot of people on the internet have felt that way. What they're doing now is they're adding in this extra layer in the commentary where it seems like they're giving reasons as to why these people are losing their matches, which helps, it helps the fact that they don't feel like they're just being buried. If Becky and Becky had all these brutal matches leading up to this one, if they had Becky just lose clean, which probably is what Vince would have done, then that would maybe be a little bit of a burial towards the man, but they didn't. I just wanted to point that out because I think that's, something that Triple H has added in, that he's added in that layer of commentary that it didn't have before. Commentary is so important when you're watching it from home. It helps tell the story. Wrestling is all a story. Anyways, I just want to point out some cool spots in the match. At one point, I think Rhea hit the Riptide, and it looked like Becky didn't kick out. It was quite awfully close, in my opinion, so we're going to have to go back and look at that and check that out and make sure that she actually did kick out in time. The electric chair drop, face buster that Rhea does. She had Becky up. Becky gets to the ropes. They flip over, and Rhea still has her over her shoulders as she lands to the floor on both feet. Was sick. That was amazing. Well done to both women to pull that off. Eventually, Rhea gets the win after hitting a Riptide onto the turnbuckle and then hitting a second Riptide in the middle of the ring to retain the Women's World Championship. I think this is the right decision. I don't think Becky needs to be champion, and she should not be beating Rhea Ripley. Good match though overall. But yeah, I think Rhea's the best in the women's division right now. So I'm glad that she won. I'm glad that she won it. Up next, we had the six-pack challenge for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The Judgment Day were defending against, I don't have this written down. Let's see if I can get this off the top of my head, all six teams. They were defending against the Awesome Truth, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Those are the two winners, so I got that right away. DIY, The New Day. Who am I forgetting? Someone help me. New Catch Republic. Thank you. Anyways, DIY comes out. Their entrance it's a DX tribute, of course, referencing R-Truth, calling DIY DX and just being confused. Johnny Gargano comes out with a cowboy hat on, just like Shawn. So that was pretty cool. Tommaso Ciampa also low-key looks like bald Triple H with the beard, so it worked. Boston Connor was in the crowd when they panned to Boston Connor from the Pat McAfee show. If anybody even knows who that is, they showed a quick glimpse of him when the Awesome Truth came out. He was saying, "What's up?" when R-Truth was, doing his shtick with the crowd. When New Catch Republic was making their entrance, their Titantron screen got a little fucked up. It kept the Awesome Truth's Titantron screen, and commentary just made it seem like such a big deal. Like, I don't know why they had to do that. I didn't even notice it until they pointed it out. But anyways, all the rest of the teams come out. The championships above the ring are separated. So we have a feeling, we all know that they're going to be pulled down by two different teams. The match starts. There was a double moonsault off the ladder to the outside by the New Catch Republic by Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Fucking awesome. That was sick. It was pretty synced up too. So that was dope. Damian Priest ends up hitting a razor's edge on Pete Dunne into Tyler Bate on the ladder. Dope. That was a cool spot. That was super cool. R-Truth ends up getting in the ring, and he thinks it's a regular tag team match. Miz is in the ring getting beat down by Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and R-Truth starts calling for the hot tag. R-Truth gets the fucking hot tag in the ladder match. R-Truth comes in, hits the 5 moves of doom on Finn Balor. You know, R-Truth's childhood hero, John Cena's 5 moves of doom. Hits the attitude adjustment. Pins Finn Balor 1, 2, 3 in the ring. Miz goes, Truth, you got to get up there. You got to get up the ladder, dude. Come on. Don't be this much of an idiot. Later on in the match, Truth brings Johnny Gargano in to tune up the band. He tells Shawn Michaels, Johnny Gargano, he says, you got to tune up the band. So Gargano starts to tune up the band. He hits the super kick, hits the sweet chin music, as I should say, as Mr. WrestleMania does. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller end up winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I think this is really good for them, obviously. And I think it's a great thing that both the titles were separated. I think it's good that both shows have their respective tag team divisions now. So, and I'm happy with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller winning because they kind of looked like fools last week on SmackDown. So I'm happy with this. Grayson Waller ends up taking a fucking double power bomb to the outside ladder that's set up on the ringside in the announcer table area with the title on his shoulder. That was a really cool spot. Later on in the match, Johnny Gargano gets Pete Dunne set up to do the slingshot DDT, and he ends up jumping over the top rope, catches Pete Dunne, and gets him through the table set up on the outside. That was freaking sick. That was so cool. Tommaso Ciampa hits an air raid crash off the top of the ladder to Tyler Bate right after that. So DIY totally just annihilates the New Catch Republic here. R-Truth gets to the ladder in the middle of the ring. He's about to climb. He's about to win the match when JD McDonough comes in from the Judgment Day and prevents R-Truth from winning the match. JD McDonough ends up getting tossed off the ladder by the New Day through 2 of the tables set up on the outside. Damian Priest was climbing the ladder, and the referee tapped his leg and kind of told him, hey, you should switch that one out because the ladder was totally fucking bent and it was not safe to stand on. Damian Priest says, shut the hell up. He climbs up the ladder anyways. The Miz climbs up with him. And as the Miz and Damian Priest are fighting on the top of the ladder, Priest goes for the South of Heaven, his big sit-out chokeslam off the top of the ladder. This could have been the finish of the match. I thought it could have been. I knew it wasn't when they fucked it up. I mean, the ladder was busted, to be fair, to give him some grace. But Damian Priest kind of like pushed his head off the ladder. Like you could kind of see him say, you know, are you ready? And obviously Damian Priest himself was not ready. So he kind of slipped off Miz's neck and kind of just pushed him off. It didn't really look that good at all. But R-Truth ends up getting in the ring alone, and he climbs the ladder. And the Awesome Truth win the Raw Tag Team Championships. R-Truth has had his WrestleMania moment, and I think this was the best way that this match outcome could have gone. We get 2 new tag teams. We get R-Truth getting his big moment for being the GOAT, for being the absolute best. And we also get, a good heel chicken shit team as the champions on SmackDown to run the division. 2 good wrestlers, too. Good for Austin Theory. Austin Theory is still undefeated at WrestleMania. Actually, that's not true. Hold on. Sorry, I threw my pen, but did he win at WrestleMania? No, he's not undefeated. What am I talking about? He lost a Pat Matt. I actually don't know. Hold on, let me look it up. Who did he face at 38? I don't remember if he won at 36. 38. Who did he face at 38? Was it Pat McAfee? I can't remember right now. Yeah, he lost to Pat McAfee, so I'm stupid. He's not undefeated at WrestleMania, but he's been undefeated the last 2 years, has a big win against John Cena last year. This year, wins the tag team 6-pack ladder match. So, Austin Theory is not the big star that, Vince thought he would be under Triple H's regime, but he's still making his Impact, he's still having his moments, which I really like. But more importantly, R-Truth has overcome his fear of heights. He climbed the ladder. He climbed up to the fucking top of the ladder. He climbed to like the second highest rung and grabbed the titles. I thought he was gonna, like climb all the way up and like not be able to unhook it, and then they would lose. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that they were gonna like not win the match because he couldn't figure out how to unhook the thing. I just thought that would have been so R-Truth. But super happy with this match. This was a fucking awesome ladder match too. Let's be honest. This was a crazy ladder match. Next match, we have Rey Mysterio and Andrade, who just recently teamed up on SmackDown, taking on Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. So we kind of get Rey and Dom too in a way, which is very cool. So yeah, like I said, Andrade turned his back on Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar leading up to this match, aligned himself with Rey Mysterio because Dragon Lee was injured backstage. I think we all kind of know that, I think Carlito must have been up to something. I think we're going to have a Carlito versus Rey Mysterio street fight type match. Carlito's been back for about a year now. So maybe Backlash on Carlito's 1 year anniversary. We get the finale to that whole thing, that little shindig there. Michael Cole mentions on commentary during this match that one of his favorite moments from Rey versus Dom at WrestleMania 39 was when Rey Mysterio spanked Dominic's butt in the middle of the match. And I don't know why Michael Cole has such a fetish with this moment. Even while if you rewatch the match and listen to Michael Cole's commentary, he's fucking screaming, he's hooting and hollering when Rey Mysterio is spanking Dominic Mysterio. Like, I get it. It's the bad guy getting whooped, but, chill a little bit, Michael Cole. Come on, chill a little bit. Rey and Andrade end up hitting like a stacked crossbody to the outside. So Rey Mysterio sitting on Andrade's shoulders, and they hit a double crossbody to the outside on Dominic and Santos. I think that was just such a cool visual. Andrade's got like the thickest shoulders that I've ever seen. Like it looks like his torso. He looks like a T when he just stands because his shoulders and his chest are just so like they're so wide. So he's built on the shoulders to be able to hold Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is so tiny he can just sit there and chill and it'd be fine. This was a cool spot. There was one point in the match where Santos punched Rey Mysterio in the head, and he went down and like grabbed his head. It looked like he was gonna cover him, but he just punched him, and the referee he looked like he was about to start counting the pin. And then he did it again. He did it twice in the match. Another time, I think, when Rey was going to, or maybe it was when Santos was punching Rey. I don't know. But, I just want to point that out. At one point in the match now, the ladies get involved. So Zelina Vega and Elektra Lopez from the LWO and, what's the other team? Legado del Fantasma. So the two ladies start to brawl on the outside. Zelina hits a moonsault. It looks like she almost lands on her face to the outside onto Elektra Lopez. I don't think Elektra caught her properly. I think she should have been a little bit closer because it looked like she caught her at her ankles. And normally when you're supposed to catch somebody when they're doing a big suicide dive or a big moonsault, you're supposed to catch them like on their chest and head area so they don't smack their nose off the floor, which it looked like Zelina really did. Anyways, Rey and Andrade end up winning the match with the help of some masked men, some big, stocky, lumberjack-looking dudes with green Rey Mysterio masks on. I could tell that the one guy was Jason Kelsey. I didn't know the other guy was Lane Johnson. I was like, is that Travis? I'm like, no, that looks too big to be Travis. And then it turned out to be Lane Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles. So Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson helped Rey and Andrade win the match, which was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. I popped so hard when I found out that it was Jason. And he went up on the turnbuckle. He took his shirt off. He was like, ah! He was hyped. It was funny. Up next after this match, we had Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, brother versus brother. This match kicks off with Lil Wayne coming out to bring out Jey Uso, which was cool because, Jey Uso had him backstage on Raw this week. When Jimmy comes out to make his entrance, Jey starts this match super early with a suicide dive. So this match was obviously going to be emotional. This match was in most. I saw a lot of people online saying that this match was not good. That it was very disappointing. I didn't think it was bad. I don't think any match on this card was necessarily bad. But this was definitely one of the weaker matches on the card. I think they could have done a lot more with what they had. And I just think the wrong person won. I don't think that Jey should have won, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, if we go back to WrestleMania 10 and WrestleMania 25, this match has been referenced to many times. Owen Hart beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. Matt Hardy beat Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania 25. Because the face brother, the big star brother, the hero, is going to win the championships and is going to have more fame and, more relatability with the audience. So the heel gets the WrestleMania win. I thought that's how it was. And I thought Jimmy was going to win this match. But he didn't. During this match, there were dude wipes advertised on the barricade. I thought the Cinnamon Toast Crunch advertising last year was bad. Why the fuck is dude wipes in the middle of Jimmy versus Jey, brother versus brother? That in itself kind of set the tone for what I soon found out to be what this match was. Don't get me wrong, though. This match was very fun. This match was great. I wouldn't say great. This match was good. It was very fun. The yeet and the no yeet strike sequence was really cool. They ended up doing super kicks back and forth to each other. At one point in the match, Jimmy Uso begs for forgiveness. He says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did. And Jey gives in. Jey actually believes Jimmy, even though we all know this is just Jimmy trying to manipulate him. The whole crowd's going, no. And Jey goes, no, yeah, you're my brother. I love you. Of course they do. Of course they love each other. They're brothers, twin brothers. But Jimmy ends up, faking it. He was faking the whole thing. So he ends up getting the upper hand. Jey ends up hitting the spear and then the Uso splash to get the win. Again, like I said, I think Jimmy should have been the rightful winner of this match. And I also think Jey Uso has the worst spear in wrestling. It's worse than Edge's spear. He needs to stop using the spear. I know why he does it, but he needs to stop using the spear. It just does not look good. At least when Edge does it, he hits them and kind of drives them to the mat, so it looks like it's almost like it's sharp. When a smaller guy uses the spear, it needs to look sharp. When a big guy like Goldberg or Rhino or Roman hits it, it's a big dude with big shoulders hitting you in the fucking stomach and knocking the wind out of you. That's what's happening. But when a smaller guy does it, I don't like using the word smaller, but, it's a smaller guy. They need to make it look sharp. And Jey just kind of launches himself. It doesn't even look like it does any damage. But anyways, like I said, I think Jimmy should have just won because Jey's main event, Jey Uso. Jimmy is just the sidekick in the bloodline. I think Jimmy should have won the WrestleMania match, maybe with some interference or distraction. Just get him the win because Jey's going to be the big star if they do stay as singles competitors, which I don't think they should be, if I'm being honest. They had the match. It wasn't great. Let's have the reunion now. I think we're all ready for the reunion. Anyways, up next, we had the 6-woman tag match. We had Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control, Asuka, Dakota Kai, and Kairi Sane. Both these teams had dope entrances. The Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai came out with, they had like the fans fluttering in front, and then they covered the camera, and then they came out from behind the fans. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a cool little visual. Jade, Naomi, and Bianca came on like a big, it looked like a giant platform. Well, it was a giant platform. What am I talking about? It was a giant platform they came down on, and they just looked like beasts, absolute units on that platform. And they came down, and they did take care of business. The faces win the match. At one point in this match, Bianca beats up on all three of the women, on Dakota, Asuka, and Kairi. She hits a standing moonsault on all three women and pinned all three girls. And I think Corey Graves said I would never be humble if I won a match pinning three people at the same time. Or maybe it was Pat McAfee, but I agree with that statement. Anyways, Jade Cargill ends up winning the match for the team. Jade pins Dakota Kai for the win. I don't know what her finisher's called, but she hits the glam slam variation. Good match. I mean, it wasn't very long. It wasn't a whole lot, but it certainly flowed a little bit better. Jade Cargill hit about 5 moves and then kind of called it quits. So, yeah, decent. I would like to see how this turns out. I'm hoping for Jade and Bianca next year, but we'll see. We'll see what comes. Next up, we get the co-main event of night 1. We get Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami's backstage. He has a nice moment with his son and his wife. His son's being all cute, and he's telling him, go win it. Very nice. He tells him to stay backstage. He doesn't want his son to be out there to see what Gunther is about to put him through. He then runs into Coach Chad backstage, who's there to pump him up a little bit. Tell him to stay focused. He reminds Sami Zayn who he is, and he tells Sami, I'm going to stay back. You got this on your own. You got to do it on your own. But he also reminds Sami that he owes him a favor. Sami Zayn, of course, beats Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I didn't like that Sami was the one to beat him, but I think it makes sense. Sami Zayn he's one of the best. He's one of the NXT OGs up there with Seth Rollins. I think he really did deserve to end Gunther's record-setting reign. Kevin Owens, oh my god, I forgot about that. Kevin Owens also meets up with Sami backstage before he walks out. Pumps him up, hypes him up a little bit. During this match, Sami's wife is shown at ringside without the kid. Where's their kid? Who's taking care of him? I would just like a little bit of reassurance that I know that he's being taken care of properly. That would just be nice. Sami Zayn ends up hitting the turnbuckle brainbuster, which was fucking crazy. I did not expect to see that. I think that's the first time he's ever hit it in WWE, which was super cool. So, yeah, Sami Zayn ends up beating Gunther. This was a good match. These guys smacked the hell out of each other like we knew they would. Gunther was just really distracted with trying to embarrass Sami and make him look like he sucks in front of his wife, which ended up, costing him the match. Next up, we get Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce in the ring. They announced the attendance for night 1. 72,543 people in the Lincoln Memorial Arena? I don't know if it's Memorial, but the Lincoln Stadium, where the Philadelphia Eagles play. We now get the main event. Biggest tag team match of all time. We get The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns came out to this match looking more jacked than he's been in a long time. He came ready for this weekend. Clearly, he's been putting in the work since he's had the time off. I also want to point out that Samantha Irvin killed it tonight. She did a fantastic job. I didn't really like her at first. when they were really pushing her on social media. I wasn't a huge fan. But I think she did an amazing job tonight. She got me so hyped for this match. I was impressed. Seth and Roman start the match off, I think Seth is Roman's greatest rival. And I think it's just fitting that the match kicked off this way. It made a lot of sense. I like it. The Rock ends up coming in. Roman tags in The Rock. His first match in 8 years, if you even count his match with Eric Rowan a match. Because I don't. I mean, what was it, 8 seconds they said, or 6 seconds they said on commentary? Like, I don't consider that a match. But The Rock is still crazy at selling. He can still make anything look like it hurts. The Rock is also just so good at being a dick. He tells the referee, Chad Patton, don't count me out. If you count me out, you're fired. Because he's the boss. So he will fire the referee if they count him out of the match. So Cody and Roman end up fighting out to the entrance ramp. I forgot for a second. This is a night ago. Give me some grace. And Rock and Seth end up fighting out into the fan seated section. There was a double cam that showed footage of both moments happening at the same time, which I thought was a nice touch. I really appreciated that. At one point in this match, The Rock is hitting the people's elbow, and Cody Rhodes is able to counter it into a Cody cutter, which I have a problem with. I think it makes absolutely no sense. Why would The Rock keep running into Cody when he sees him bouncing off the rope and then into him? It makes sense, when John Cena did it to The Rock at WrestleMania 28, and John bounced off the rope, and Rock was there in the middle of the ring to catch him as soon as he turned. That makes sense. This doesn't. When The Rock turns, he sees Cody leaping to the rope and then leaping towards him. Are you telling me that 2 bounces off the ropes causes enough speed and enough velocity to the point where you cannot stop yourself from getting hit with a signature move? I mean, and the fact that they were booing when they hit this too, it made me a little nervous going into night 2. But either way, that was my only big issue with this match. Was I did not understand this spot. It made no sense to me. It made The Rock look like a fucking idiot, and it just did not like it. What I did like, though, was where Roman Reigns has Cody set up to hit the spear. And as Roman is running at him, Seth comes in and saves Cody, pushes him out of the way, and Roman spears Rock, and Rock sells it like he gets stabbed in the stomach with a long sword. He is like, it tops his Goldberg spear cell. It was so good. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins hit a double pedigree to Roman and Rock, and I think Cody hits one of the weakest pedigrees I've ever seen. He barely even gets Rock's arms over his back. Cody ends up hitting a rock bottom through the announce table on The Rock. That was pretty crazy. The Rock pins Cody to win the match. He ends up hitting the rock bottom in the middle of the ring and then hits the people's elbow to finish it to make night 2 Bloodline rules. So Seth took a lot of damage in this match. He was the primary focus of the Bloodline's attack, just to kind of beat him down and destroy his knee and destroy his back. So Seth's all beat the fuck up into going into night 2. So Seth did all that work for nothing. If I were him, I'd be pissed at Cody. But instead, he congratulates him and helps him out in night 2. But we'll get to that now. So night 2 begins. I'm going to try and get through this because I'm getting a little bit tired. Night 2 begins. Stephanie McMahon starts the show. She says that she is excited for the Paul Levesque era, which we all are. I just want to say, it might be recency bias, but night 2 WrestleMania might be the best top to bottom WrestleMania card we have ever seen. There was not a bad match on night 2, and I mean, we kicked it off with a banger. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre kick off the show for the World Heavyweight Championship. As soon as the bell rings, Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore. I thought Drew was going to win it in 6 seconds. I thought that would have been the best way to make Drew the most hated man in the world, but obviously it came down to something a little more special than that. Anyways, this was just a spot fest. These guys were just hitting finishers back and forth. Drew McIntyre ends up hitting the Claymore to finish Rollins and pin him to win the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Seth Rollins cries and tells Drew McIntyre to hold on to that shit. So it tells him to hold on to that title, which, I mean, foreshadow. Drew McIntyre goes up to the announce table where CM Punk is obviously doing commentary for the night. And CM Punk sweeps his leg out from under him and, beats him up a little bit, scruffs him up a little bit after his match. And then we hear Damian Priest. His music hits. And Damian Priest comes out to cash in. He puts Drew McIntyre, newly won World Heavyweight Champion, for less than 5 minutes in the middle of the ring, hits a South of Heaven, wins the world title. Wow. I mean, I think we all saw it coming. Does not beat the heist of the century, though. This was a good cash-in, but they didn't even give him pyro. Come on. You got the whole Judgment Day out there, the Women's World Champion, now the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. Why can't you give him some pyro? Make it look a little bit cool. Next match, we have the Final Testament versus, I call them the Almighties. It's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. But we get Snoop Dogg, who comes out as a special guest commentator for this match, which was fun. Bubba Ray Dudley also comes out to be the special guest referee, which was really cool since they're in Philadelphia, having the ECW legend coming out. At one point in the match, Karrion Kross hits a neck breaker onto a sitting chair in the middle of the ring on Bobby Lashley. That looked like it hurt. Angelo Dawkins hits the best pounce in wrestling, and he hit Akam and Razor, both of them with a pounce, and knocked them both back. And then Montez Ford jumps off the top of the turnbuckle and hits a big senton. That was a cool spot. That takes out Razor and Akam for the rest of the match, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I see them ever again after that. B-Fab and Scarlett are both on the outside rooting for their teams in the Philadelphia street fight, and they both end up going through a table. This match was just a lot of chaos. It was a lot of fun. They were beating the crap out of each other with kendo sticks. They were the Authors of Pain were breaking kendo sticks over everyone's back. This was just a crazy, it was a Philadelphia street fight. It was about what we expected it to be. Cross ends up pinning somebody to get the win, and Bubba counts the 2. I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley kicks out. Cross goes, that was a 3. I'm pretty fucking sure that was a 3. Bubba goes, Cross shoves him. Bubba puts on the glasses. That gets a huge pop. Angelo Dawkins ends up hitting the what's up. Ends up hitting the was up on Karrion Kross, the big headbutt to the dick that the Dudley boys used to do. They were looking to set up Karrion Kross to finish the match. They were going to put him on the table. Montez Ford was going to hit the frog splash, but the table broke when they put him on it. That sucks. So they had to beat him up. They had to break a kendo stick over his back to get a new table in and then redo the spot. The Almighties win the match. This was fun, but nothing super important. I'm just glad that these guys got on the card, though. I'm happy to see Karrion Kross on a WrestleMania, even though he lost. Good for him, because he was fucking sick in NXT, and I wish that Vince didn't ruin him. I don't want to get into that, but let's move on. Backstage interview with Paul Heyman. He gets asked, what is Bloodline Rules? And Paul Heyman says, Bloodline Rules is whatever Roman Reigns says Bloodline Rules is. It's pretty self-explanatory, which, to be fair, that's a pretty stupid question. Paul Heyman says what's going to happen tonight is one man is going to leave as the WWE Universal Champion, and the other goes home to his wife, Brandy, which I thought was a pretty fun line. That was a pretty dope line to mention Brandy, because I don't think she's been mentioned or seen since Cody's been back in WWE. Maybe he's mentioned her in his own promos, but I don't think she's been used in any other sort of way. So that was a nice little call out to later. We'll talk about that. Next, we get the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match. This match was good. LA Knight pulls up in the Slim Jim car. I don't even know what kind of car it was. But Michael Cole pointed out in commentary that at SummerSlam, LA Knight won the Slim Jim Battle Royal. So that's why he's the sponsor for Slim Jim. It all makes sense. Thank you, Michael Cole. Because originally when I watched SummerSlam, I thought the Slim Jim Battle Royal was stupid that they even made it, that gimmick. But it works because now LA is the face of Slim Jim. So that full circle moment right there. That was good. When LA Knight makes his entrance, he ends up giving the keys of the Slim Jim car to a special winner. This lady has absolutely zero excitement in her face. She already knew that she was going to win the car and is just kind of over it. She's already had her moment, or she has absolutely no idea what's going on. But either way, it was just so fucking funny to see LA give her the keys and she's just straight faced. She looks like she doesn't even care. But AJ Styles, I think he has a new theme song. If he's had it before, I haven't heard it. It's my first time hearing it. I think it's cool. Kind of a remix of his old one, but it's more rap and it's, more suited for his villain persona, which I like. But no, these two boys were playing dirty. At one point, LA Knight bit AJ Styles' forehead, and then AJ Styles retaliated with an eye rake. But at one point, LA Knight tried to hit a power bomb, maybe it would have been, on the exposed floor on the outside. But AJ Styles ended up countering it into a back body drop. It wasn't cement, though. I don't know what they put over like the football field turf, but it looked like it was some sort of hard plastic that they just kind of connected together. So it still looked like it hurt, but it would have been better if there was concrete, cement maybe. Also, when AJ Styles went back in the ring and told the ref to count him out, why did he restart the count? Why did the ref have to restart if they were already outside for however many seconds? You're not supposed to restart the count when someone enters the ring. It's when they enter the ring and then leave the ring, I thought. Then you restart the count. But anyways, that should have been the end. AJ should have won there due to count out because it took LA Knight a fresh set count to get to the ring in 9. But he ended up getting in the ring again. He ended up hitting the BFT, blunt force trauma, on AJ Styles to win the match. This is, like I said, really good match. AJ Styles can have a good match with anybody, and LA Knight looked smooth tonight. Happy for him. Good win. He had his WrestleMania moment. This was awesome. Up next, we get the Hall of Fame recap. This year in the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame, we get the U.S. Express, who were a part of WrestleMania 1, and they did a cool little tribute to Bray Wyatt, which was really nice. Bull Nakano joins them, as well as Thunderbolt Patterson and Lonnie Ali, Muhammad Ali's wife, did Muhammad Ali's induction for him, did his speech for him. He was presented by The Undertaker, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't actually watch the show, like the Hall of Fame show. I just watched the recap of it. But obviously the main attraction of the Hall of Fame this year was Paul Heyman in Philadelphia. The GOAT, Paul Heyman, was inducted. Roman Reigns credits Paul Heyman for the Tribal Chief. He says, without Paul Heyman, there is no Tribal Chief. They did an ECW tribute, of course, again, which was so perfect that they had Philly to do it in. This was the perfect time to have Paul Heyman go into the Hall of Fame, especially now that Roman lost and Roman's saying that this was his last match. Paul might be gone. I don't know. If Roman's gone, then Paul's gone. So I don't know. We'll see. He might not be around much longer. So I'm happy that he's had his run. He's been awesome. All right, we got 3 matches left. So we had the United States Championship triple threat match between Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes out with a Prime truck, big monster truck with the Prime logo all over it. He also has another Prime bottle mascot walk down the entrance ramp with him. But this year, he's got a face covering, so we don't know who it is yet. Kevin Owens comes out. He makes his entrance. Sami Zayn greets him backstage, just like how Kevin Owens greeted Sami last night before his match against Gunther. Soon as I saw this, I was thinking, man, we better get the Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit moment relived. The WrestleMania 20 moment where they come out and share the ring together after winning their titles. I wanted it so bad. I thought this would have been, the perfect duo, the perfect pair of best friends to redo that moment with the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship. Anyways, Kevin Owens comes out. He drives out in a golf cart. Takes a golf cart down the ramp. Very Stone Cold-esque. With the ATV, the four-wheeler, which Kevin Owens faced him 2 years ago, so it makes a little bit of sense. Kevin Owens uses the stunner. He's got the golf cart. When Randy Orton comes up to make his entrance, Kevin Owens backs the golf cart up, all the way back up the ramp, and tells Randy, get in. Tells me to get in the golf cart. So Randy hops on the back. Owens speeds down the ramp, and you can see Randy's like, slow down. He's like, slow down. I'm going to fall off. I'm an old man. Anyways, the match starts. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton make a great team. They team up on Logan Paul to start the match. Of course, they both have, some beef with him. So they end up going back and forth with some back body drops on the announce table, trying to see who can get Logan higher and have more of an impact on the announce table, which was funny. Eventually, they both try to pin him at the same time. And that's where we get a little, that's where the mishaps start to happen. Kevin Owens and Randy both agree. They're like, okay, let's take care of him first, and then we'll deal with each other. And then when Kevin turns his back, Randy pulls him around and tries to hit the RKO, but Owens gets out of it. And he goes, okay, you want to do this now? Let's do this now. And they start punching each other. Lots of fun. This match was a lot of fun. As they're punching each other, Logan Paul from outside of the ring comes in with a double buckshot lariat, which was crazy. That was so good. Logan Paul and Randy Orton have a battle of uppercuts. And Logan Paul drops Randy Orton with an uppercut. I mean, they go back and forth, and the commentary team is saying, Logan does not want to get into this uppercut battle with Randy Orton, with one of the best. He's got one of the best uppercuts in the business. And, Logan drops him. I mean, he is a boxer. It makes sense. I just thought that was kind of a cool moment. It kind of put Logan over a little bit as a legitimate fighter, which I liked. I thought it was good. Eventually, Logan Paul comes in with the brass knuckles, like he had against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, and like he's had over the last few weeks to knock people out. So he punches Randy in the chin with the brass knuckles. Randy kicks out at 2.5 of the brass knuckle KO punch. The crowd is so dead for this match, which was super upsetting. This was a really good match. I think all three of these guys were pretty fluid. I don't think there was anything really wrong with this match, other than maybe the winner.
other than maybe Logan Paul winning. But at one point we had Randy Orton tease the punt kick. He had Logan Paul down in the corner, and he went over to the turnbuckle, and he was going to hit the punt. I think it's been so long since they've even teased the punt that they should only tease it if he's going to do it at this point. Like, if he's not going to do it, then don't fucking tease it, because it's just like it's been so long since he's actually hit the move. And it's not cool. Not cool. I'd rather actually see the move done. If you're not going to do it, then don't tease it anymore. But as Randy's trying to hit the punt kick, the Prime bottle pulls Logan out of the ring to save his life. It ends up being Speed. I show Speed in the Prime bottle, which was so funny. I did not expect Speed to be at WrestleMania. Speed is barking at Randy Orton. He's swearing at him. He's telling him, I forget what he told, but he's barking at him. Speed ends up getting booted by Orton, just Sparta kicked through the chest. Orton takes the Prime bottle suit off of him so that there's no protection, puts him onto the announce table. Randy Orton hits an RKO to Speed on the announce table. Michael Cole said the dog is dead as soon as he gets hit with an RKO, which is hilarious. Back into the ring now, finish the match. Kevin Owens tries to hit the pop-up powerbomb on Randy Orton, but Orton reverses it into an RKO, which was beautifully done. So smooth. After Randy hits it, Logan throws him out of the ring. Logan gets onto the top rope, hits the highest frog splash I've ever seen this man hit on Kevin Owens to get the pin. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul is still the United States champion. I understand why they kept the title on him. Am I happy about it? No. Do I respect it? Yes. I understand. We had the co-main event now. We had the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bayley, making her entrance. Bayley gets carried out by Sphinxes. Does she have like Egyptian descent, or is that just a one-time only thing? I don't know. Let me look this up. Let me figure this out quickly. Because it would make perfect. I mean, maybe commentary said something and I missed it. Okay, she's Mexican American, but maybe she's just a fan of Egyptian culture. I don't know. Anyways, both these women make their entrance. The match starts off a little slow, but it starts to pick up real heavily. The crowd, this Philadelphia crowd, does not deserve another WrestleMania. They were so dead. They were so dead for the triple threat match. They were so dead for half of this match. This was, I think, what this match was between Io and Bayley. This was WWE's attempt at the women's version of Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. That's what I got from it, because it's a traditional Japanese style match. It starts slow, and then they start to hit the heavy hitting spots, and then it just gets crazy, which it did. This match was, in my opinion, this was probably match of the weekend. In terms of actual wrestling match, this was definitely the match of the weekend for me. You put this match in the Tokyo Dome, and this would be a whole different story. This would have easily been, a 5-star match. At one point, Io Sky gets her skull bashed into the turnbuckle after Bayley hits a sunset flip into the corner, and the fucking crowd was singing, "Hey, Bayley. Ooh. Ah." Like, shut up. Appreciate the match in front of you. Watch the freaking wrestling. What is going on? Anyways, into 15 minutes, 20 minutes into the match, the crowd finally gets into it. What a fucking match this was, though. This was incredible. Bayley ends up winning the match. She ends up hitting the Rose Plant on Io to get the victory. 6 stars if this was in the Tokyo Dome, for sure. This was so much fun. This was a great match. I'm so happy that Bayley got the win here. Io Sky had a decently long title run that maybe shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. But she's still a great performer, so I'm happy that she got her chance to shine as the world champion, because she's had some really good matches since she's been on the main roster. But this was probably the match of her title reign, and same with Bayley. This is probably one of Bayley's matches of her career, maybe. Like you could probably put it up there with Bayley and Sasha at Takeover Brooklyn, in my opinion. Up next, we get a bunch of WrestleMania celebrities in the crowd. Over the 2 nights, we had a bunch of celebrities there. Vanessa Hudgens was there. Drewski was there. Michael Che was there. George Kittle was in the crowd. T-Pain was there. Just a lot of fun, a lot of celebrities. Snoop Dogg and the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders come out to announce the double night attendance for WrestleMania 40 for both nights. He announces 145,420. I was like, yo, what? 420? No way. What a coincidence. And then the graphic goes up onto the screen and it says 145,493. And I was like, oh, Snoop. Oh, Snoop. That was so funny. That got me good. It's main event time. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Bloodline rules. This is endgame right here. This is it. This is endgame. This is the end of the, I guess we call it the reality era, the modern era. I believe this is it. Cody makes his entrance. Brandy comes out with him as he makes his entrance, which was very reminiscent to me of All Out the first year when, or was it All Out? Yeah, I think it was All Out when Cody smashed the throne. Maybe it wasn't All Out. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't watch AEW back then, but very reminiscent to that, which I thought was cool. Cody had a cool mask on. He had the whole Homelander outfit on with the cape and everything. Roman Reigns' music hits. His whole theme is just it's a remix of what he's had lately, and you know what? It worked really well, especially if this is going to be his last match. Because, you know, as he said on the Pat McAfee show, if he loses the belt, he's done, and I don't blame him. We've had Roman Reigns for far longer than we thought he would. I mean, I thought he was done 6 years ago when he announced that he had leukemia again. And then when the pandemic hit and he couldn't do anything because he has leukemia, I thought that was it. But no, the last 4 years, we've had the tribal chief. People were really appreciative of him. There's a lot of Roman fans, which, you know, I was just sitting here thinking to myself, it's so crazy that 8-9 years ago, I fucking hated this man. I did not want to see him on my TV. I hated him. And now I don't want him to lose. I've watched him win in the main event of the last 3 WrestleManias. And, well, I guess technically 4 WrestleMania main events because of night 1. And I wanted him to win for a 5th time. But no, as soon as Cody made his entrance, I had a feeling. I just knew Cody was going to win. I liked that they put the challenger on the left side of the ring for the ring introduction, so that when they have their face-off, Cody's neck tattoo was showing. That's the only reason why they had it switched up. Every other match, the challenger's been on the right and the champion's been on the left like they normally do. Right away, it's bloodline rules, so anything goes. Cody Rhodes goes out to grab a table from under the ring, And Roman puts it right back under the ring, which I thought was hilarious. He goes, not happening. I was really rooting for Roman, but about halfway through this match, I remembered why I didn't like Roman Reigns as a part-time main eventer, because he's so slow and meticulous with his matches. He plays a great heel because he just makes you hate him, because he doesn't have that like excitement factor that a lot of modern wrestlers do. He just has that aura and that energy, and he has the ability to hit big moves, and he has the ability to, tell an incredible story. But Roman is just, he plays a good heel. They end up making their way out into the crowd, into the Philadelphia crowd, and Roman fakes a backhand at one of the fans, and the fan fucking like ducks like he's about to get smacked by the tribal chief. I thought that was hilarious. There's one point in the match where Roman pins Cody pretty early on, and Cody kicked out at 1.9, which was quite interesting. I don't think I've ever actually seen that before. It was right before the 2 count hit where Cody kicked out. I thought that was a cool touch, because usually it's like 1 kick out or 1, 2 kick out, but this one was 1 kick out. It was 1.9, which you don't see a lot of, which was very cool. I like that. Roman ends up hitting a crossroads very early on in the match to Cody Rhodes. This doesn't keep Cody down though. Cody ends up hitting a spear on Roman in the match too. So right in the middle of the ring, after Cody hits the spear, he tries to set Roman Reigns up. But Jimmy ends up coming in and super kicks Cody. We get our first batch of interferences here. Then Jey Uso comes out to take out Jimmy Uso. These guys fight up the stage. Jey hits a spear to Jimmy off the WrestleMania ramp through some tables to the outside. These two are done for the rest of the night. These two are gone. So is the feud going to continue with Jimmy and Jey? I mean, I hope so. Anyways, Cody and Roman are fighting on the outside. Cody hits a spear on Roman Reigns through the barricade. Cody gets Roman back in the ring, sets up the Crossroads Trinity. As Cody hits the first and the second, he goes for the third, and Solo comes into the ring, hits the spike, just like he did last year. Out comes John Cena. Whoop-a-doo! John Cena comes out. He runs down to the ring, beats the crap out of the Bloodline, helps beat up Roman, helps beat up Solo. John Cena hits the attitude adjustment to Solo Sikoa through the Spanish announce table, and then out comes the final boss, The Rock. Oh man, I feel like I'm 11 years old again watching WrestleMania 28. These guys have a face-to-face in the ring. The Rock hits a rock bottom to John Cena, and The Rock tells him, "Get the fuck out of my ring. Get the fuck out of here, John Cena. You don't deserve to be here. You haven't been here in months." I like that, they kept it realistic that, John has been gone since, November, and The Rock's been around way more recently. He's been training. He had a match last night, so of course The Rock is going to get the upper hand during this encounter. The Shield music hits. I fucking popped so hard. I thought Jon Moxley was going to come out through the crowd with Seth Rollins. I was fully convinced, and I know a lot of other people were too. I was fully convinced that we were going to get a Dean Ambrose WWE return at WrestleMania, but no, it was just Seth. Came out in the Shield gear with the steel chair. He came out to hit The Rock, but Roman comes in, ends up hitting the Superman punch on Seth before he can actually do anything about it. And then we get The Undertaker. The bell tolls. The big gong. What the fuck is going on? This is insane. I know everyone was expecting Stone Cold. Maybe they couldn't get Stone Cold tonight. Maybe he just wasn't available. So they got the next best thing. Undertaker appears in the middle of the ring behind The Rock, hits a shitty choke slam, and then disappears. The Rock and Undertaker are both gone. Roman Reigns has the opportunity to finish the match and destroy Cody Rhodes with the chair. But then he turns his attention to Seth. Seth is on the bottom rope. And Roman's got the chair in hand. Very reminiscent to when Seth turned on Roman in the Shield. Roman finishes his story with Seth and hits him in the back with the chair, just like how Seth hit Roman, which allows Cody to get the upper hand. He ends up kicking Roman in the chest before Roman can hit the spear. Hits the Crossroad Trinity. As the referee is counting the pin, Michael Cole goes, finish the story for 3. Beautifully done. Roman's reign comes to an end. The historic undisputed Universal Championship reign of 1,300 and something days is over. Is this the last we see of Roman Reigns? I don't know. I'd like to. I'm really excited for Raw tonight. I'm gonna have an episode out probably tomorrow morning. I'm probably gonna film Raw right after I'm done watching it tonight. So, yeah, expect the Raw after WrestleMania review coming out bright and early tomorrow morning. Cody brings out Triple H at the end of the show. He brings out, was it Bruce Pritchard, I think? I don't know. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention at this point, but I think he brings out Bruce Pritchard too. All the good guys come out in the ring and they celebrate with Cody to finish off WrestleMania. I really liked seeing John Cena and CM Punk talking in the background of Cody's celebration ceremony. I just thought that was so cool. I mean, these two rivals, put their differences aside, and I'm sure, I know they have nothing but respect for each other, so, I mean, I'm sure there's nothing but good things said, but that's WrestleMania 40. Like I said, I thought this was the best WrestleMania I've ever watched, and I can't wait to see what Triple H can do with 41, and I can't wait to see Rock and Roman at 41. They don't need a title to make that match big. Maybe we'll finally get Seth and Cody for the Undisputed title next year. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see what happens, though. I'm excited to see what kind of pace WWE can keep up at now that WrestleMania is over, because obviously the last few weeks have been insane with The Rock being there and, everything that's been going on to build up to the show. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it all the way through to the end, I'll be back for another episode. I want to do individual episode reviews because this one was way too long. I had to cut it into 2 parts because I got way too tired last night. So I'm actually filming this part the next morning. This is Monday morning that I'm recording this. I'm going to be giving probably shorter episodes, quicker, like 20-30 minute episodes to review Raw and SmackDown, and then obviously the pay-per-views might be a little bit longer. But so yeah, thanks again for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.